Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adugo and thank you for tuning in. Today we have a special guest with us. Her name is Mrs. Oluebube Mwajiako. She is a Christian wife, mother, and homemaker. She is also the author of the book Humana Necessitido, The Rudiments of an Excellent Human Relationship. And currently she's doing her PhD at the prestigious King's College, London, on a fully funded scholarship. And today we are here to be inspired by how she dreamt big and went on to achieve her dreams. So, Olebibi, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Ada. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. That's perfect. All right, so
All
okay.
right. So, moving on, we would love for you to share your story with us. How did you land a fully funded scholarship for your PhD? I mean, um, if you know how expensive to study in the UK is, how much more a
Yeah,
PhD of 4 years? 4 years, right?
yeah.
3 to 4 years at least.
Yeah,
Three
it's
to four
three
years.
years and six
You,
months, well, approximately 4 years. So.
Oh, that's nice. You would really know how heavy this scholarship is. So I would love for you to share with us how you got this fully funded scholarship to study for your PhD. Thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I've I've always wanted to study abroad actually, even though I didn't know how to go about it. As far as when I was in secondary school, I've always wanted to do that. So what I did was just to take my studies seriously, and then I got admission. I started my BSc in Imo State University. I studied industrial chemistry. Okay, after that, then I wanted to study for my master's, do my master's in abroad, but then I couldn't get the funding. And of course, I've always told myself that anything I'm going to do abroad as per studies, it has to be funded. Because I had this mindset that I always get whatever I want, and I know that people are getting it, so mine will be an exception, of course. And I'm bright, so I mean, if other people are getting it, I should even get it double. And
That's
in
good.
fact, in fact, like as if I know that it's my right to get scholarship, because my secondary school on scholarship, my
Nice.
university scholarship, my
Amazing.
master's scholarship.
Scholarship too.
So I just told myself that my PhD, postdoc, everything is scholarship. So I had this mindset that I will have the best education and I don't have to pay for that. All right. So to answer the question, how I got the fully funded scholarship to study in King's College London. Okay, so I did my master's in University of Ilorin, chemistry department. That was actually where it started, and the King's College thing started that because before I rounded up my PhD, my master's, I was really thinking, okay, what next? Now PhD is the next thing. So I started researching. I started trying to know, okay, which country should I go to? I had two countries in mind. I had USA, I had UK in mind. So I started checking, okay, what are the requirements? How will I do it? And then I started asking questions. Then while I was in school, I had friends and then my lecturer. So I started asking questions. Okay, now I started going to the internet, checking the school's websites and all of that. So one thing that made me run away from USA is actually the IELTS. They insisted that I must write IELTS to actually get admission. But I felt like, oh, I didn't want to write IELTS. I mean, I can speak English. Why do I have to write exam to prove
I
that I
know.
can speak English? Like, So I said, okay, let's do UK. After all, Nigeria and Abi, they say, how do they say it? Nigeria is British colony or something, Abi.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So,
Organized business.
so I'm like, oh, let's do UK. So after saying I'm going to the UK, I started, okay, thinking of the school. So I'm like, what kind of PhD do I want to do? I wanted to do something because my background is chemistry, organic chemistry. I did organic chemistry in my master's, right? So the kind of research I did, I wanted to link it to cancer studies because that's an area that I know is very, very important. Of course, cancer is actually a very deadly disease. Lots of people die of cancer, and I wanted to do something tangible, something worthwhile, something that I can be proud of. I just didn't want to do any PhD, that won't give me satisfaction. So I was like, okay, what's the best school? Which school is even the best cancer school where I can the school that does the best cancer research. So those were the questions I was asking myself. And I started browsing on the internet. Then I saw King's College. Even though when I saw King's College, I was like, King's College is big, oh, this one is a big school, oh, hey. But I'm like, I deserve the best. I have this mindset that the best things of life are mine. So I always go for the best wherever, in whatever I'm doing, all right? So that was how I started. And then I started, I checked the internet, I applied. No, before I applied, I had to check for the requirements that they needed and all of that. So because it's a PhD, I needed to have a supervisor before I can even complete the application process, right? So, but before I got to King's College, I also applied to other schools like Aberdeen, University of Aberdeen, Glasgow. I got admission in those schools, but they didn't come with a fully funded scholarship. I got in Aberdeen, they gave me some discount, but like when they give you 50% discount, the other 50% is still big money. So that's like
Discount.
they gave me some. I'm not particular because I didn't follow up with that, right? They gave me some discounts, right? Not exactly 50%, but I still needed to pay money, so I couldn't. I wanted a fully funded scholarship, so I just left that. And in King's College, what helped me was actually my supervisor. I would say that, I started looking for people that are doing research in areas that I'm interested, which is cancer research. So when I went to the school website, I went to the faculty and then the department of chemistry. Now I searched for lecturers there that we are doing, this is work. But this is the work part of it. Because all the schools I wanted to go to, that was what I was doing. I was going from one school's website to another, checking their profiles. I would search them up on LinkedIn. I would just search their profile, see the research, look at the papers that they have published, see what they are doing, right? So that was how I saw people that are doing different. So the same letter I sent to all my prospective supervisors, I just changed a few things, changed the name of the school and then their names, and then tweeted one thing and another, and then I sent out different letters. Now I got responses from some didn't even reply, some replied that, oh, they don't have any openings for any new PhD students and all of that. But what stood out for me was, my present supervisor now, he's one of the lecturers that responded. So he just responded that, oh, your CV looks good, and he took it up from there. We started, sending emails back and forth and all of that. But before then, remember, I did my undergraduate was in industrial chemistry. I did my industrial training in a pharmaceutical company in Lagos. I did my master's. So all my chemistry experiences, I put it. So the things I sent to him, I sent my BSc transcript, my CV, and what else? I told him my English is my official language. Then I got one letter from my school showing that English is my official language. I sent to him and all of that. So my CV, my transcript, my certificate, and then English letter. So we started chatting, and so because I already had a supervisor, right? So I submitted my application, and then that was that. But then, no, that was not that. King's College sent me an email that I wasn't admitted. So I'm like, hey, yeah, King's College actually sent me a message that I wasn't chosen, because they had lots of applicants for that year. So, but then, because my supervisor already loved me, he wanted to work with me. But I found favor.
Favor.
I'm telling you. So I found favor. In fact, when I saw the map, I'm like, okay, maybe this thing is not this year. Maybe this is not the right time. I wanted to give it a break, right? So, but one day, like after praying, I think that was the beginning. All those January prayers or something. So my husband was like, I should tell Prof that about the email that King's College sent to me. So I told him about it, and he just told me that he has a grant, and that am I interested? Ha.
Glory to God.
When I read that email, I not on email.
Yes,
We were now chatting on WhatsApp. Grace for good mom. Yes, so it's important. So by that time we were chatting on WhatsApp because I was already we were communicating now. We were now like friends. So I now told him that so it was like he has this grant that am I interested? I said no. I didn't even reply immediately. I just put off the phone. Like I just kept them like is it for real? Is he asking me if I'm interested in a grant or something? So I went to go and pray. I prayed before responding. So after that, I told him, sir, that yes, that I'm interested. So then we started. He sent me a form. So I had to do another application for that NNES grant to work with them in King's College, right?
Okay.
So it was actually a very straightforward process for me. So I had to, of course, they already had my details, they already had all the things I submitted, my results. And now one thing, yes, why, the reason why they didn't really pick me was because I didn't submit my master's result. Because
Oh,
yeah. Because I told them I did my master's and then I
okay.
applied for a PhD. So they asked for my certificate. I told them that my certificate is not ready, that ASU is on strike. I mean, I was very sincere. ASU is on strike and I couldn't get my certificate. So that was about then but with my supervisor's influence, okay, I was able to surmount that barrier. Like they overlooked my master's certificate for me, and then they gave me the admission that came with a scholarship, and it's really very good. Like
Amazing.
it's my dream. My dream has come true. It's now a
Yes.
reality. Yeah. So
So
I just have to summarize it. So I
yeah.
have to summarize it. So.
So for the number of years you'll be studying, you'll be researching for a PhD, the company will be paying your tuition to the school, right?
Yes. They pay like the money. My school fees on a normal is actually 26,600
Whoa.
pounds per year.
Whoa.
That's not the research chemicals. All these reagent costs is not included. This one is school fees.
That's the tuition.
But
Oh,
now because of this funding that I have, they pay it for me. Like I don't have to, and that's something I always wanted because I've always told myself that in fact, when I'm having conversation with myself, I'm like, God, if you want me to study abroad, it has to be with scholarship because I can't. I mean, I can't think of myself coming here to be paying thousands. Abi, when my father is not Dangote, Abi Kubana. So, and I wouldn't even advise anybody, especially for masters. You can easily do it highest 1 year you are done, but PhD paying all this money, buying chemicals, and you're trying to settle into a new country, and then no, it's not like you shouldn't even think of doing a PhD abroad if you don't have funding. Don't, don't
unless if you,
actually.
yeah, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
you have fun. So is there anything you did like behind the scene in your closet? Like, is there anything you did, personally that you think, qualified you for this favor?
My
Not just
sister, which
your
other thing did I do? There is nothing hidden. There is nothing hidden that I did. It has to be
because
reading my book. Okay, in fact, it's not just because this thing is not just something that happened overnight. Like it's not something that just came. It's like I told you, I did my undergraduate industrial chemistry. I did all
yeah.
the experiences that I've always loved to do research. Okay, I've always loved it, and that's my background. I have skills in those areas, so that's what I did. Okay, and then I applied, and then I prayed, and favor came. Then I got it. Which other thing? There's nothing else I did.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Thank you. So, how would you advise someone to access relevant information, like someone that is looking for scholarships abroad? How were you able to access relevant information that helped you? Or do you have any advice or maybe something extra you've learned since you came to the UK of how someone can actually access relevant information that can
Yeah,
help them
and that
get?
this question is too much. Like, break it down. You're asking this one advice, relevant. One step at a time, please.
Somebody wants to get scholarship to study abroad. How would the
Okay.
person get information that can help them do that?
Okay. Something that you, of course, now in this era, the internet has made information dissemination so easy. Okay, so simple. People, there are lots of scholarship opportunities being shared. There are people that share lots of scholarship opportunities, right? Now, I would say there are so many ways you can actually access the scholarship opportunity. You have LinkedIn. People post it on LinkedIn. There are people that
Really?
have WhatsApp group. Yeah, I have a friend of mine. He shares it. Now there are some groups. There's this WhatsApp group I was in then that they share lots of scholarship. But the funny thing is that I didn't even get it through all those ones. But then I was there. So you want to have as much information as you want to get. Okay. So check the internet, browse. Now the schools, different schools have different application opening times. So if you make up your mind that this is the school, now number one, if you make up your mind that this is the country where you want to go, because that's the point where some people are confused that you don't know. Okay, do you want to go to China? Do you want to go to Japan, to India, to London? Of course, it's not only USA. In fact, it's like this UK and Canada is now becoming competitive.
Yeah.
So there are other countries too that you can, actually. So if you decide that okay, this is the country that you want to go to, now you can now search for scholarship opportunities in the country. Now, okay, before that, if you decide okay, this is the school that you want to go to, now there are some schools that give scholarships to their students. Like this one I'm using now is a King's scholarship. So King's College is funding me. They are partnering with different companies to, they are partnering with I think a pharmaceutical company, all right, to fund students to do research on a particular area of cancer, all right. So if you know the area that your field, if it is computer science, if it is humanities, or there are schools that are good in those areas. So if you decide, okay, this is the country that I'm going to, this is the school I'm going to, now check the school website for scholarship offer. If you check for this year and you find out that you've already missed it, now note the time that they normally open it and then apply for the next year. But before then, use that time to gather the information, the documents that. Have we talked about documents needed?
No, we're still talking about how to get information. After that, we will now talk about the documents needed.
Okay, okay, all right, yeah. So you have to, in order for you not to be confused, break it down to so that because if you don't know the direction you are going, you'll be confused. You won't
Yeah,
even know
that's
the
right.
information you need because there are lots of everybody. There are different information. So break it down to just have a focus. Okay, this is my focus. This is what I want to do. Okay, if you like me, I wanted to do research. In fact, why I even wanted to do research, I was doing masters then when all this started. I was tired of reading books and writing exam. I said, okay, I just wanted to work in the lab. I
Oh,
just
you
wanted
did
to work.
just masters.
Yes, I did. No, the master. You know how Nigerian masters can be now. You do class for 1 year and then do lab for
Oh,
6 months.
yeah.
So that first 1 year, I said,
I
well,
can,
I'm tired. Yeah, I just
I
like
can.
sometimes I don't want to say something, but I just wanted to be in the lab and be working. At least experiment if they are working. For instance, if you add the right amount of the right concentration to whatever you're doing, if it works, if you add too much or too little, it's not gonna work, right? And then I love to see cells, growing and all of that. So I just wanted to do. So that was how I was able to narrow it down to okay, research, and then what area of research? Because we have in chemistry now we have organic, we have analytical, we have so many areas. I wanted to do organic chemistry. I wanted to do something that has to do with cancer. So that helped me to know what I was looking for. So I was now
All right.
searching for, okay, which schools, when I now decided, okay, I'm going to UK, then I started taking for the best schools in that area in UK.
Right.
So now you also want to look for the, because there's this thing again that sometimes people try to go for maybe because you think that a school is cheap and you are going there. No, those expensive ones, go there. People are running away from them now, creating more opportunities for people. So people have this mindset that, oh, if I go there, I won't get it. So everybody is now going to where they think they will get. Whereas the big ones are there, few
Yes.
people are going there. Go there.
Okay.
Go there. They
Okay.
have funding. Go there and you will get it. Okay, of course it is competitive. You have to, you have to have the skills and you have to have the skills because they don't. Nobody wants to employ you that if they can't see what value you can offer. All right.
Yeah.
Even recently, you know what happened in my department? One lecturer I was having a chat with, and he's like, he needs a student to work in his lab. Me, I was like, okay, sir, I can bring one for you. From my country. He's like, no, 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 that he wants a good person. They are scared of bringing anybody because there are some people that they have in the labs that they're not really adding things. They're not even like they are just regretting that. So they are actually very scared to bring people. All right. So that's why you have to be sure that you're someone that can deliver, and then people, of course, your reference. When we come to referencing, we'll talk about that. So have the skills, search for the school, know what you are looking for. Now, this is not just for it's not just for the sciences. So, there are people in humanities, arts that are getting scholarship, sociology that are getting. So
Wow.
if you have distinguished yourself that okay, this is the topic I'm working on, this is my niche, and you have things to back it up, then go ahead. There is something for you. There is a scholarship for you. Okay. So have I answered the question?
Yes, yes. I believe you have. You
Okay.
can see the live chat, right?
Oh yes. I haven't been
Yeah,
following. Let
because
me
someone
see.
said hello to you. I didn't get the person's name. So just be
Okay.
mindful because
Hello,
yeah,
Kazuri. Hi,
yeah,
Kazuri. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, yes. So, someone say, okay, Chispa said by the end of my program, we'll have a permanent care. That's the goal. God bless. That's the vision, all right? Because I was like, means lots of researches people are doing and then nothing to show for. So I really wanted to do a good research, and I know that for me to do a very good research, it has to be I need the right environment. Like some of the things that happen, that sometimes you want to do one simple analysis, you will not now see machine to do it. You will now go to one place and pay big money. So even when I wanted to do my GCMS analysis, we had to send it to Lagos from Ilori because we didn't even have a GCMS. So I just wanted to get the right training, get the right environment, and then get the.
Yes.
Of course, I cannot be thinking of how to do a good research and then be thinking of money at the same time. That's too much now.
Yeah,
So I just
yeah,
needed to focus on research. So that was why the scholarship was very, very important. I was like, okay, if I don't even get this scholarship, I'm not even doing PhD because I cannot do PhD with my money.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's
So
expensive.
another way you can get information is asking people who are the people in your network. All right,
Okay.
surround yourself with people that are where you want to go or people that are going where you want to go. Like when I was when I was in my math, I had lots of friends and I was intentional about the kind of friends I had most of my then I was master, but I had friends that were doing PhD, postdoc, so we'll be talking. So they'll be telling me some of them have traveled to India, some of them have gone to different places. So as you're talking with people, their minds will be rubbing off on you. You'll be knowing some things. All right, surround yourself. Ask questions on LinkedIn. They are there. They are just be sure that you have the skills. Okay, you have the skills so
Okay.
that you know where you because if you have the skills you expect, you already know what you want and what you don't want. Now, when you are now searching for whatever information you want, you know this is the part so that you are not confused. Because if you are confused, you just want anything goes, anything goes. Maybe you
Yeah.
eventually you might even land one, but then you might not really give the best of you to that. Okay, so.
All right. Okay, thank you for that. So, can you tell us the important documents one should have ready if they want to study abroad?
Okay. If you want to go via the study route, okay, number one, okay, please have your transcripts. Okay, your transcript is very important, and your certificate and your CV. Okay, your
Okay.
CV because they want to. One thing I've learned in this country, they like experience. They like experience, okay?
Yeah,
They want to
that's
see
true.
that you've done these things before, so that when you come, you can so have your transcripts, your certificates, your CV. Of course, they're going to ask you for a reference letter. Now, if you're going for I think both master's degree, you're going to write a statement of purpose. Now, another important thing that you must learn how to do is writing. You must be able to write something that can convince someone. Remember, I told you guys that how I got my supervisor was. But if you see the writing I wrote for him, hey, he just finished it, and I'm like, I want to work with this girl. Of course, and then know how to put your best points forward. If there is anything that you have done that you know that will be useful, put it there. Don't say this one will not. It's better you have, have good points to back up your whatever you're writing, and they know how to write something that can convince someone. All right. So make sure you write your statement of purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, SOP,
Yes.
yes, you have to, because they want to know why you are doing that thing. And then in your SOP, if you can give experience, your background, a kind of background as to why you want to do, like me, I gave my background, industrial chemistry, I gave all the background, and then I now saw the need why I want to do this thing. And I told them why their school is the best place for me to do it. I even mentioned that King's College is the ranked guinea in cancer research.
Yeah.
That is where I want
This
to
is
do it
great.
here. So they now see that, oh, this
Orlando.
person already, so write well, know how to write. Write very, very well, okay? And then you also need references. They're going to ask you for two references, academic references, okay? It's not your family. So that's why it's good to have good relationship with your lecturers,
It's your
especially people that have
right?
taught you. Have good relationships with them, okay?
Yeah,
So
choose by
that
hype them well.
yeah. So have, because the reference is actually very, very important. Okay, that's someone that can vouch for you that okay, you're a good person, that what you said you can do, you can actually do it, and then maybe someone that will just give a good remark about you. And then what else? What else do you need? Now, if you are going for a PhD and if you have published
Uh-huh.
any paper, please include it. Me, I did not publish paper, but if you have, please include it. It will increase your, now that this study I brought in is becoming so everybody's aware and everybody wants to
Yeah.
travel. So you want to be, you want to have more pluses. Be on top of your game. If you have
Yeah.
published paper, put it there so that they will go and read the paper and see, okay, that you actually know. Because of course, for you to publish paper, that means you have done the work. All right. Now your proposals. Now, here another very important thing is IELTS certificate. That's the English proficiency exam. Now
Yeah.
many schools need it. Okay, me, I didn't want to write it initially, but I ended up writing it because I always thought that. In fact, that's why the funny thing, that the reason why I ran away from USA to UK, I ended up writing the IELTS exam because I always
Yeah.
said, oh,
Yeah.
I can. I mean, I felt I didn't have to write English exam. I can speak. Am I not speaking English? Abi, are you understanding me? So, so,
Yeah.
so,
But let
but
me say something about IELTS. Like if you
yeah,
are going for masters in the UK, most schools, so as you are coming from Nigeria or English speaking country, you don't need to write IELTS. Your WAEC is just sufficient. Just make sure you have C6 at least in your WAEC. That's if you are
okay.
going for master's degree.
Mm,
But if it's Canada, you cannot avoid IELTS if you are going to Canada and
okay.
US I think. But for UK, once you have your WAEC, you pass your WAEC, pass English in your WAEC, you are good to go. Maybe you can support it with letter of English proficiency from your school. And
Okay.
another thing is, if you study for your masters in the UK, you have a degree in the UK, whether it's
Yeah.
undergraduate or master, you are going for a PhD, you don't need English proficiency exam or something. They will just know that you spent some time here and you can speak English, obviously. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. And another important document is your international passport because you are going nowhere without your international passport. So get that one ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Um, yeah.
I want to
I
say
think that.
something. Ada, of course, viewers, right? Why we are doing this video is you pick what you want to pick, okay? because I watched lots of videos even while I was preparing. You see this IELTS exam now. This thing you said now that if you are going to UK, you don't need IELTS. That was what I thought, and then that was how I was telling them that. Even I wrote to King's College that I am from Nigeria. I studied in Nigeria, and my English is our official language. But the thing is that know the requirements for the school you are going to. King's College was they insisted that I must write IELTS exam. In fact, I wrote last minute IE, and then they had this particular band that I must. In fact, God helped me because then I was heavily pregnant, and then in fact they couldn't give me visa. They were insisting that I write the IELTS. So to be on the safe side, if you do whether you are going to UK or Canada, if you have the money, just write it and keep so that it won't be that will not be what will delay, because I know people that okay sometimes they write IELTS and then the result is not maybe one, they are just 1 point less. All right, but if you write it when you are more relaxed, so if you're able to practice and then write it and then have the certificate, and the good thing is that you can use the certificate for 2 years. And I think there are some just go to the school website and know what they want, know the requirement. If they say there that they need IELTS, please go and write IELTS, and whether it's in the UK or Canada or Australia, wherever you're going, just go to the school website, know what the requirements are. It's actually as simple as that. If you see the requirements that they've listed there, just go and gather all of them before you even start applying. Once you gather all of them, your application will be a smooth one. But if you don't have all of them, at some point they will ask you to, it's going to be back and forth, and you don't want that, okay? Yeah, the international passport, that's very, very important. Hey, but that's why I did not even get my master's degree, because then, I did not have passports. I went to go and apply for overseas. Go on. So,
First document to have. If you
yeah,
are
that's the
thinking
first one. Yeah, that's the
your
first one. Yeah.
get it ready. Okay. Yeah, it's very important to search for information on the school website to know their
Yeah.
requirements. Yeah, like I said, most schools will not require, but even when I was looking for schools to apply for my masters, there are some schools, masters, they needed IELTS.
Yeah.
Just left them. Just go to the school website and see what they require. Then application process. Let's talk about application process. Maybe you tell us about application process for PhD. Maybe I can talk about that for masters.
Mm. Okay, the application process is, in fact, everything that we are saying, if you have listened very well, that's the application process. If you, if you know what you want to, can you hear me? It seems I'm not hearing myself. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So the application process is simple. There is nothing hard. Just like you can just go to anything and apply. Maybe you're applying for a job or something. If you know the school, all right, that you want to go to their website. See when the application portal is opening. But before then, make sure that you have checked whatever their requirements are. Because one school's requirement is definitely different from another school's requirement. Now, don't
Yeah.
think that, oh, this is how this school is doing, therefore this is how this school. Now, that's one thing. Don't because some people will tell you based on their school. Like now, I'm telling you based on King's College. The school you are going to might be Harvard. Harvard might have a different, requirement. So go to the school. That's why you have to do the work. And then I will even say, if you can, please apply, do the application yourself. Because sometimes agents can make mistakes. And then,
Yeah.
any money you give to an agent, they can't refund it. So if you can take your time, as you're planning to go do this study abroad thing, take your time, go to the internet, check for the school that you want to apply, check their requirements, whatever they will give you the link there. Application is now open. Apply now. You now click it and you now start filling in the details. You put in your contact details. You put in your whatever they are writing, your references, your previous experiences, your educational background. There will be a place for you to upload your documents. You upload all those things. After the application, you submit. Now there are some schools that they have to pay application fee. There are some that you
Yeah.
don't have to pay. So if you have to pay application fee, they have to tell you there. So you know that, okay, this school I have to pay. But know that any money you pay for application fee, whether you get the admission or not, it's not refundable, all right? So if you think that you really want to go to this school and then this is how much they are charging and then you can afford it, please go ahead and apply for it and then pay for the application fee. But if you want
Yeah.
schools that, of course, some schools you don't have to pay anything to apply. So I will actually recommend you apply to those schools because you don't have anything to lose, whether you get the admission or not, okay? So
Yeah.
you now apply for it. So remember, you feel that you have to do the work, sit down, and of course, I cannot tell you go to this school because I don't know what you want to do. I don't know whether you want to do PhD thoughts and then PhD research. And that's another thing. There are this postgraduate study. We have the thoughts and the research. Now, if you are doing masters or PhD thoughts, that's the one that is like education. You'll be reading book, you'll be writing exam. Me, I don't want to do that one. I wanted to do research. I'll just do PhD research that okay, I will just go to the lab and start working and start this is the problem I want to solve. I'll go to the lab and go and solve it. And if I come out with an answer, woo, I'm now a hero.
Well,
So
okay, the only writing you will do is your thesis, right? Towards the
yeah,
end. You have assignment to
yes.
your thesis, right?
Yes, but even before then, they are going to be evaluating us like every 6 months. You come and present. What have you been doing so far? What have you found? And that's another thing that you have to be very, very serious because if they evaluate you at 1 6 months and you are not even doing something, they can even terminate your contract. Okay,
Yeah, that's
so you have to
true.
know that PhD, masters, anyone you are doing is not even easy. None of them is
It's
easy
not
at all.
child's play. I as in
It's not for the faint-hearted. Like yesterday, I
that's
slept in the lab. You know, I only slept for 1 hour, be 2 hours. I had to quickly shower, ate something to, and I'm here now talking. You now see me. So it's not for the faint. So you want to be sure that you just make up your mind that you want to do this thing. You go there and know that you are doing it. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty that.
okay. So I don't know if our audience have any question for our special guest.
Okay. I guess.
Anyway, but
Okay.
in absence of any question, do you have any
Please,
final
people should ask me questions. It's not after now. Somebody will not come to my inbox and be asking, I want to do this one, I want to do this one. If you have question, please drop it and we'll be glad
while
to.
we wait for them to ask question, the application process for a master's degree is
Yeah.
just okay. We've actually been talking about it, but I'm not sure if you mentioned for PhD that you need to write a proposal and you also need to find
Oh,
a potential supervisor before you start applying. You already mentioned it earlier. You
yeah.
send out email, go to the school website, go to the department, look for the lecturers that are doing similar things that you're interested in. Reach out to them via email and all. Anyone that accepts, you can now apply to the school for the PhD. You
Yeah.
submit your proposal and all, and start waiting for their response. So for the masters, like in the UK now, for master's degree, you just go to the website and apply, submit all your documents, your international passport, your transcript, your
Yeah.
certificate, statement of purpose, your reference letters. It depends on how long you've left school. Okay. If maybe some schools will tell you if you've left school for over 5 years, you get two references from your employers. Okay, but if it's less than 5 years, you can get one reference, academic reference, and one professional reference. And then if you've changed your name, make sure to submit your change of name documents, which is
Yeah.
your affidavit of name, your marriage
Yeah.
certificate, and newspaper
Yeah.
publication. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I think, okay.
I think that, then your WAEC, and then your WAEC for the schools that do not require IELTS. Okay. Did someone ask any question? Please, what are your social media handles so we can reach out to you if need be? That's if it's okay by. So I'm going to put your social media handle in the description box. Okay. So I'm going to leave the handles in the description box so that you can check them out later. But for Olebube, okay, I'll leave it in the description box. Send a DM or something. But if you have any question, please drop them in the comment section and we'll be there to respond. Any final words, any final thoughts, How can someone prepare their minds for the journey ahead?
Oh, okay. Of course, if you are thinking of studying abroad, I assume you are not a child, you are an adult, right? There are some things that you have to be strong, psychologically. You have to be financial. Of course, okay, let's say if you get the scholarship, it actually takes the financial burden away from you. And then I will advise, if you're thinking of traveling abroad, please have some skills, some relevant skills that will help you, all right, to volunteer and how will I put it? There are lots of opportunities here, but if you are not skilled, they're looking for someone that can do things. Okay, be skilled. If there is an area where you're interested in, even before you start coming, get some skills there. So when you come here, it's just gonna be some training and now and another thing is that if you go to the country where you are, look out for opportunities. Don't think that it's only for some people. One thing I'm learning here is that these people are nice, okay? The British people, they are really nice, and then they have this inclusion and diversity. They accept people from all over the world. But if you have something to offer, they are going to give you. But if you don't have anything to offer, you are going to be struggling. Okay, so have some skills, have good skills before you come. All right, and then look for opportunities to volunteer, whether paid or unpaid. Look for opportunities to volunteer. And final thing is, please be prayerful. Even before you come, be praying. Pray for for good people, good supervisor, good neighbors, good people, because there are bad people in the world. Though. Just pray that you are surrounded with good people, all right? Even when you come here, still be praying. Because prayer is part of, now that everybody's applying, it's even prayer that will make your application to be singled out. Prayer, I don't know, it might not, yours might not be the way mine came. God can use anybody, or it might be in a different way, but I cannot overemphasize the importance of prayer. Okay, just keep on praying for the right opportunities, right people, right timing. And then I think I will have to say that study abroad is not compulsory. It's good. It's good, but it's not compulsory. If you don't like what I'm trying to say is that don't try to do it because everybody is doing it. If you don't have something to do, if you don't really just check your mind, check your spirit that oh you really want to do this, and then know the right country, and basically that's that. But I wish you the best. It's good to go to where you will get trained properly and all of that. I wish you the best. Okay, and I love
Thank
you.
you.
That's my
So,
final words.
I wanted to ask you what kind of skills someone should have before coming, but let me answer the first question. The
Okay.
academic reference can come from any lecturer. Like for me, I got my academic reference from my undergraduate project supervisor because he was basically the only lecturer I had a relationship with, you know. Then I also had a good relationship with my employer, my previous employer. So I now got one from her. But I remember um when I was applying to schools in the US, there are some schools that were insisting on getting a reference letter from a professor. Get two academic references, one from a lecture, like a normal lecturer, it may be a professor, but one has to be from a professor. So I remember getting references from my dean because he's a professor. So it depends on what the school wants. So if they just say academic reference, then it can come from any lecturer. But if they say it has to be a professor, then you have to look for a professor. So over to you. What kind of skills should one have before coming? Because you kept on mentioning skills, acquire some skills. What kind of skills are you talking
Okay, there
about?
are actually lots. Okay, now it depends on what you're interested in. But for me, in the research area, there's data. Or for if you're in research, go and learn data analysis. Go and learn programming, all this Python, computational chemistry. That's what they are using there. I thought I did a bit of that in my master, but I got someone to do it for me. But coming here, that's what they are doing. Like now I'm learning, all right. But if I had learned it before, it would have been very easy for me now. But then it's fine. I'm still learning it. Okay. Now get graphic design, and then not just all these tech skills. Now get soft skills too. Human management. There might be some time. Okay, like now. I mean, I was supposed to share this in my YouTube channel, but I'm going to share it now. There is this role that came out. Um, as a welfare lead in where I'm living, and if you're I mean it comes with lots of benefits. So I saw it and then I applied, and they were asking me, okay, what are some of my experiences? I just downloaded all volunteering work I was doing in Nigeria. I gave them. That's how I got the role. Oh. Okay, so have
Whoa.
yeah, I mean it's
Yes.
big. So that's what I'm saying. Have skills like, and even when you come here, don't just be doing school alone. Look for ways you can volunteer. All right, look for ways you can volunteer. You know, events come depending on what skills that you have. Now, if you don't have skills, go and have one. Because even if you come here, you're telling them you have done this, you can do this. They ask, where have you done it before? And if you're able to prove to them, sometimes they might ask you for emails of the company that you said you've worked with. So have skills in whatever you can do. Go and try and know how to do something. There will be an opportunity for you to use that skill to serve. And of course, if you are thinking of staying, if you have a long-term plan to stay, maybe you are trying to work maybe after your schools, those are some of the experiences that you are going to give them that will actually increase your chances. So yeah, just find something that you can do. If it is to dance, that you can dance. I mean that's right, but just go and find something that you can do that is in line with, that is relevant to what you want to do, right?
Yeah. At least for master's degree, you have to get the soft skill of critical writing and time management.
Number one, time management is hey, you cannot even survive in this place without knowing how to manage your time.
Why you don't know how to manage your time?
Hi,
I
hi,
heard
hi, hi, hi.
it, but as I came, I started
You
understanding it. You
are
need to
seeing it.
put your
Now, what
because
I do, I use Teams.
time
I use
once.
Teams calendar. I just put it, Anyway, I'm just checking. Okay, where do I have to be? But
Exactly.
it's good.
My goodness. You need to, know how to because sometimes this coursework can be so tricky, but you still need to
Yeah.
know how to put your time and meet up
Mm,
and meet up. So at least time management, critical writing.
yeah.
Yeah, basically. All right. Thank you so much. We have enjoyed your presence here. So guys, we're about to go now. Please don't forget to like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you have not. Subscribe to my channel. And if there are other video ideas you would love from me, please leave it in the comment section. If you have any question whatsoever, leave it in the comment section. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, Cheesefire. Thank you so much for your support. We
All
are
right.
happy. Bye.
Bye, guys.